What if instead of writing a command, I could just talk to my terminal in a natural language like a human? So I can just say, hi terminal, go to my desktop and create a folder called project and initialize it with Git. And that's done. All right, so before I share about my terminal setup and all the AI features and the cool new things, I want to spend a few minutes to talk about something very important, which is AI terminal, right? So why? Why? Just why? Why are we doing this? And not just an AI terminal. There are so many AI tools. I did some videos with the pieces, and most companies are now implementing AI in their tools in one way or another. Some are doing it in a very good way. Some are doing it in a very not so good way. Here's what I want you to know. These tools are not going to replace developers. Warp AI Terminal, which is the one we're using, check out the links in the description below. Other AI tools that I have shared on my YouTube channel. It's just changing the way we are communicating with our machines. Let me give you an example. When I was contributing to Kubernetes, I met a lot of senior engineers, even working at like Google and some DevRels and lot of engineers like in engineering roles, and who had a hard time working with Git. I'm not kidding, right? They were like technical people working in big companies, startups, or getting in their career. And I'm just giving Git as an example. And they're like, I work with Git, but I use the graphical user interface. I don't like working with the command line. And I think this is one of the main challenges, like one of many challenges. So I think AI terminals like Warp are bridging that gap between developers and the way they're communicating with their machines. Another good example is previously there were some, let's say, very old programming languages, PHP or just C language. Let's say there was no, in some languages, automatic garbage collection and other things. You had to do everything manually, write a lot of code. Assembly language people used to work with previously directly. And now you have like modern languages. They offer like a lot of functionalities. People were not like, oh, modern languages, now I have to do garbage collection automatically. My job is going to be lost. No, people who were, let's say, working with assembly or machine code in the very, I don't know, decades ago, and they saw new programming languages come out, they were like, oh, our job is gone now. No, they adapted. So I think when we talk about AI, the future with developers, in the future, what's going to happen is tools like Warp, I think it's just going to be integrated in your day-to-day life. AI is just going to be there. And as a developer, you're not going to be replaced, but AI is going to help you. It's going to be like a companion. Just like now, you have modern programming languages. In the future, there's just going to be AI tools. So you can focus on what matters most. You can spend your time on problem solving, designing, doing all sorts of stuff, and AI can do the heavy lifting for you. Cool. Let's take a look at the Warp terminal, how I use it, some of the cool features, why you should be trying it. You can get started for free, download it for free. Links are in the description below. And let me show you my workflow and some of my top features. All right, so that's the website. You can check out the links in the description below. We are going to talk about a lot of things. So make sure you check out the links in the description below, and yeah, check out the Discord community, the GitHub, blog, about the company and all sorts of things. I'm not gonna dive too much into that. But a good example was like the Git one. It created a Git repository. I think let me just give you a basic overview of some of the basic features. So if I have, like, let's say if I say Civo, so here I have my Civo, I got the command output. This command that I have just inserted and this whole thing is itself is called a block in Warp. Okay, so using a block, here you can see on the screen, you can copy a command, you can copy the output, you can scroll directly to the start of the command's output, as you can see over here. As you can see the output, sometimes you get a lot of output, and when you scroll, you oftentimes miss out on the command and it just scrolls the entire thing. Using Warp, you can see the command is different, the output is different, so it's much more readable. You can re-input this command, you can do a lot of things, right? You can also bookmark it. So I can say bookmark it. So this command is now bookmarked. Okay, filter block output, I can filter it as well. I can search for let's say region, so you can see Cool, right? And I can save it as a workflow, which I'll talk more about later. All right, cool. Civo region list. So I can see, you can see I'm in my New York region. Civo is a cloud provider. If you don't know, I'm using the command line interface to interact with my cloud provider, like AWS, GCP, or whatever. So I'm currently in the New York City region. Okay, so that was about Warp blogs. The next thing I want to show you is modern text editing. So I can just go back to my desktop, and let's say I say Civo Kubernetes create test cluster 1, number of nodes 3, size I can say g4s dot cube dot small, but you can also autocomplete it. It says right arrow or control F to accept the suggestion. There you go. Nice. I didn't have to type the whole thing. I can just do right arrow and it's going to create a Kubernetes cluster for me. Just going to say test cluster, that's fine. And via adding the wait command, I can see what's happening, but I can also do command D and it's going to open a split window for me. So if I want to keep my workflows separate, I can do that as well. And these you can drag as well. I can put it up here somewhere, or I can put it here somewhere. Again, I can add more if I want. I can put it like this. So you can see the customization options that are available over here. Let's say I just want to do it like this. There you go. I can close it. Here we have it. Okay, it's creating a cluster for me, and you can also keep it running in the background. I can create a new tab, and while this is running in the background, I will be working over here. Cool. But yeah, there are a bunch of other options regarding the text editing, warping and all the other things, automated quotes, parentheses, brackets, all the commands. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but you can check it out on your own in the documentation. I want to also show you the customization options. For example, you can check out the text size. So I can go to my appearance. I can go to my text size, as you can see, line height, the terminal font, and the themes as well. Bunch of themes available over here. I am one of those rare people who likes to use white theme, the light theme. So here we go. And yeah, show tab indicators, blinking features, all sorts of things. So yeah, appearance wise, there are a bunch of optimizations. You can also make it transparent, right? Opacity, and yeah, a lot of customization options available. All right, you can also customize the prompts. So you can have custom prompts, or you can have your own shell prompt. If I have my shell prompt, as you can see, after I log in, so now it's my custom shell prompt, and you can use Starship or OMSI or whatever you wanna use. I'm going to turn it back to what prompt, so it's much more cleaner. You can also customize the input position. So I want to, let's say, start from the bottom. You can do that as well. You can, yeah, do a bunch of things, really. Focus follows mouse, dim inactive panels. So the active panels that are not active, it's going to dim them. See? Customization. Nice. And then, yeah, some of the features, as you can check over here, shortcut screen, shared blocks, keyboard shortcuts available over here, subshells, you can add commands over here, you can add block listed commands as well, privacy options, and yeah, some other things. Cool. Appearance wise, I don't know what else to tell you. You can, change your colors. You can add in a background in the background as well. And yeah, oh, actually, I like the green one. That's nice. Go green. You can also create your own custom theme. Pretty cool. I think there's a documentation available for that. Yeah, there you go. There's a repository of themes hosted on GitHub. And since it's open source, you can create your own theme. There you go. Little CSS YAML action. All right, one more thing I want to mention is because it's an open source repository, you can submit your own themes as well, and you can see what other people have submitted. And yeah, they also have holiday themes to celebrate various holidays during the calendar year, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you can use this template to create themes, and yeah, check out what other people have created. All right, so if we took a look at the customization options and how you can change the shell over here, and yeah, now let's take a look at the AI options, the AI features. There's the agent mode, meaning instead of writing a command, you can tell it, in natural language. Check if my Civo cluster is running. So Civo Kubernetes list. So it says it's running with the following status, right? 3 nodes in one pool. I can also say Civo Kubernetes show test cluster. This command it gave to me. And here you go. I have the information about my cluster. There we go. You can see that I didn't really tell. So Civo it's an obviously it's the CLI that I installed from Civo. It's an external tool, and it automatically went through what the CLI has to offer, all the commands in the CLI, how the CLI works, how it's structured, and it was able to specifically talk to the CLI and just give me the answer. That's what I mean by an AI terminal. That's essentially what we need. Not trying to make your life more difficult, but easier. Yeah, I can also ask it some commands. So let's say you don't know a specific command. I will just ask, what is the command to expose the port of an Nginx container running in Docker? So it says docker run -d -p 8080 Nginx. I can also ask it, is Docker running? It's going to be like, okay, the command is not available. I can just say docker info. Docker is not running, right? So I can say Docker is not running, start Docker. That's fine. Open Docker. That's good. No worries. It just opened my Docker desktop. That's fine. Not a problem. Docker is starting, and I can then use the CLI to essentially run all my Docker commands, ask it questions, not necessarily writing the Docker commands, but using my natural language. But you see what I mean. It's not just about memorizing, like no one likes memorizing commands. And it's nice that the terminal is telling you what commands to run, and you are able to ask it questions rather than, so what did we used to do? We used to Google, what's the command to do this? What's the command to do that? But now it's just doing it on its own. Okay, so essentially this is just saving time, okay? And instead of memorizing or Googling every single command, you can just ask the terminal. I can just say create or run a Docker container with MySQL image or latest MySQL image. Cool, that's it. While that is running, I can also ask, what is the status of my MySQL image, MySQL container in Docker? Is currently running. Details are as follows. There you go. Currently running. Nice. What else? Let's take the Git example. Go to my desktop. Actually, let's ask it to create a Flask application. Sometimes you need to spin up quick applications for like API testing or whatever. Go to my desktop, create a folder called project, and create a basic Flask application in it and run it. That's fine. It's telling you that go to the desktop, make the directory, go to in this directory, and then run this command, which is just a simple Flask hello world application. Python run py. Oh, Python 3 run py.py. Python 3, it says, did you mean Python 3? Yeah, that's fine. I meant Python 3. So I can just click on this, run this. It says that it's not installed. So what I would tell it is that instead of doing it, I will say create a virtual environment and then install the files and then run the application. Virtual environment. It's going to create an environment and that's fine. Activate it. It did that. It should run this command and read the output. Yeah, that's fine. Done. So you can see my virtual environment is activated. Isn't it nice? Cool. Python 3 run.py. Pip install Flask and then Python 3 run.py. Let's go to my local host. Hello world is running. How cool was that? Nice. I can just maybe go to the recent project I created in Flask in my desktop. I didn't even have to write the nice spelling, like even if there's a spelling error. Yeah, I'm in the project. Now this project is Git initialized, so I can just say, I am new to Git. I want you to record all the changes in Git. So it's going to say, give you the steps. So you're actually learning while contributing. Okay, while you're learning these commands. Git is a very simple example, but again, you can't assume because it's not simple for everyone. So it's giving you the steps as well for what every command does. And that's done. Nothing to clean. Sorry, nothing to commit, working tree clean. You can also ask it, is there anything untracked in this Git repo? There are no untracked files. Okay, sounds good. You can do other things as well. I can just ask it something like, clone the Kubernetes repo in my desktop. I can do that. There you go. So those are all the AI features. You can go to this tab and you can learn what's new whenever you update. Check the change log whenever you update Warp to see what new features are out there. Getting started, we already covered that. How to maximize Warp, split panels, AI command search and everything. Command search, we did that. Yeah, command search, you can do that. I can say, yeah, history, workflows, AI command suggestions, notebooks, environment variables. We'll talk more about that later. See? Right, ask Warp AI for command suggestions, replace string in a file. We saw the Docker example, which was good. History, you can see over here. Yeah, example queries, very cool stuff. Now, okay, it's not just about AI. There are also various collaboration features. What I want to show you is the Warp drive. Warp drive essentially means that, you know, when you're writing a command many times, we use aliases. And instead of that, this is more like aliases on steroids. So essentially, you can create these workflows. It's an example workflow like echo hello world. You have this workflow. You can create environment variables also in your Warp drive so that you can essentially share it with people. So this is my personal drive. I can create like a, you know, my key. Let's say secret key, test, some value, save it. Environment variable is saved to my personal account. Okay, this is saved and now I can use it. What I want to show you about Warp Drive is that you can actually add people in. So you can invite people by link. I can turn it off, or anyone who has, like, you can invite them by email, or anyone has the email of your company. So any email with vmakedevs.org will be able to access this, the workflows in this drive. So this is also what I wanted to share you. You get some free notebooks and shared workflows in the free plan. As you can see, that's what I'm using over here. More than enough for me. And I think if you're a big organization, you can pay. But I think as individual developers who are just using it, you can definitely, get started with the free plan. Exported it, test, echo test, my environment variable. Cool. Sounds good. So I wanted to show you about Warp Drive. You can also go in the trash and delete any of the workflows you don't need. It says, I'm just gonna go back to my drive. An example I want to show you. Here we go. So this is a workflow that kills the process running on a port. So essentially you can just write a port number over here, and it's going to kill that process that is running on that port. Instead of Googling how do you kill this process or whatnot, squash the last n commits. So here you can see it's going to squash the last number of commits. How many commits do you want to squash? Some number of commits I want to squash. Let's say 2 number of commits I want to squash. Okay. Undo the last hit commit. So I can just show you this in action. Go to my desktop, and let's say I want to undo the last commit. Hold on. Undo the last commit. Explain the error. That's a good question. Explain this error. Yeah, so here we go. I was stuck somewhere and then I just asked it the error. So I selected the block and then I gave the example. Your encountering running git reset indicates that the git is unable to find the revision or the commit specified by head. No commits in the repository. Detached head state. If you commits are sure, git status. Okay. So if I don't want to ask it in just natural language, I can just say git log. Okay. I can say touch file.txt git add dot git commit. Actually, I can create a new workflow. Let's say I showed you environment variables. I showed you around just notebooks. You can have markdowns added over here. Oh, keep closing it. But one thing I want to show you is, let's say I create a workflow. Oh, it's actually saying that there's +1, means there's one more git directory inside it. But anyway, I'll create a workflow. I'll call it. So essentially what I want to do is I want to include all the changes that are in my git repository. I don't want to write the command again and again. So I can say commit all changes. Command will be git add dot git commit message recent changes. Obviously you should add or I can add in an argument here. Commit message default value, I can give it recent changes. If you don't add anything, git commit -m git add dot git commit -m. Then I can say git log as well to see. I can also autofill or add parameters with Warp AI. That's done. Okay, now I can run this. I can say commit all the changes. Recent changes, I can say instead of that, just do new file added test.txt or whatever it was, commit. So you can see new commit has been made. So whenever I want to commit all the changes, instead of writing this whole command again and again, I can also use this, it's giving me the placeholder to change this automatically, so I can save a lot of time. Same thing, I use it for mainly Kubernetes debugging. So in my work, my Civo account, I will have various workflows for debugging Kubernetes. Any command output that I get, I can just ask the Warp AI as well. It's very cool, right? So I wanted to show you Warp Drive, and you can share all of these commands and the workflows and the notebooks and everything with your colleagues as well. Cool. Sounds good. If you delete something, it will go in the trash. Yeah. Now here's in the trash. There for 30 days. All right. Recently, they also launched dynamic environment variables. What is this? Dynamically sync environment variables into your terminal sessions, meaning you can load keys or secrets from external managers like 1Password or LastPass into your terminal session at runtime. So you can access all of those things if you want to authenticate something in a terminal session using 1Password and other tools. So I think that's pretty cool. How you can do this? Actually, you can check out this blog post. Very recent feature. I'm gonna have to try that out. It's very cool. Nice. Nice. That's nice. OpenAI key and other things. Nice. So I gave you an example of static environment variables, but there are dynamic as well. No, that's very cool. Nice. Okay. Check out the links in the description below. Customize it to your own account and have fun. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Yeah, if you have used it, then you can share it on socials. Take a screenshot of your workflow, share it on social media, how you're using it. I would love to see your themes. So do that, tag me, and let me see what your themes are like, how pretty you have made it, and how you're using what sort of CLI tools you're using with it. And yeah, I think tools like this are a great example of the future of AI in the role for developers. And I'm very happy to see this. Very cool stuff. Good job, Warp team. Any questions, let me know in the comment section below. The usual stuff, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.